Hello, welcome back to 3D Drawing for Model Railway and episode 5, working through the long welded rail train. Today's episode we're going to look at adding the buffer onto this quarter of the wagon. It's quite a complex little buffer, but we can give it a go and hopefully by the end of today's video we'll have that all drawn and sorted. So here's a great photo of the buffers. It shows the complexity of it. It says it's a relatively straight cylindrical shank here with the buffer inside it, and then the plate on the outside. But the cutout here is so that the rail for the gantry crane can spin out and then it can go over the top without fouling the buffer on the bottom of the gantry. Okay, so to get started, I'm working from the drawing that Paul sent me, all the measurements he's drawn off of it. And the centre point of the buffer shank is actually 12 inches from the edge of the wagon here. So we're going to create a sketch on the inside face and we just draw a circle for the buffer itself. We'll find midpoint coming down and we can draw that circle in. Let's go for 2 millimeters in diameter to start with. Define the distance from the edge. So it'll be 12 inches divided by 1.8. So you can see how I've done 12 inches there. I've done two little marks at the top to create the 12 inch. Gives you that 2.06 measurement. So the buffer itself, I think probably 2 mil, probably a little bit too big in diameter. So we're just going to bring that down to say 1.8. I'm trying to look at the height here to try and give us some sort of guide. I think 1.8 might be okay. Although to be fair, nobody's going to really notice 0.2, so we'll go for 0.2 to give us that extra bit of strength. And then we can extrude that. We turn on the canvas, we can see how far it's got to come out now. It's probably not far off, although I'm not going to come all that way because we can see this is set back slightly. So that's 3, so it'd be 1.5 foot. Probably not far off. So we could pull it out by 3 mil, and we'll tell that to join. Click on OK. And we need a smaller cylinder on the inside. Then pick that inner point. If we go for 1.5, 1.6 mil. 1.6 mil, and then we can extrude that out. I'm going to go 0.7 millimeters. So again, we don't have any dimensions for the front face. So I'm going to draw on that last cylinder we drew a centre point rectangle. Like this. Okay, so it's not the easiest to work out, but looking at these 3 photos, I would say the buffer height is as tall as the buffer beam here. So what we can do is vertically constrain to that point. That's going to make it too wide. Let's undo that. Let's not constrain that. Let's just make it bigger. That height direction. And what I'm going to actually do is coincidence that corner to that corner. That will make that relatively square then. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is create a cutout on it. So we're going to draw a line. It's going to be on the, get this right, outside of the buffer that's going to have the cutout. So we're going to draw a line. Actually, yeah, it's about the same height as this, that there. Cross like that, angle up. So if we define that, so from the top corner to there, 1.5 millimeters. From that point to that edge, 1.2. And from that point to that edge, 1.5. Okay, so that bit we won't need. Okay, now we need to sort of create an arc on the outside. Okay, 3-point arc, start there. Okay, let's try doing points first. Find the distance, 5 mil, the same on that one, 5, and then we'll create a point which we'll put on the midpoint of this, and then do arc, 3-point arc from there to there, using that. And we'll probably round this off a little bit at the top as well when we go to create that as well. So do the same here, do stick a point on there, and a point on the midpoint. Arc, 3-point arc from there to there, and then to the middle. Okay, so now we've got that profile, and extrude that. 0.5, click to join. And we'll set the bodies here, let's go back here, that one, feature, click to join. Okay, so now it's going to round off these corners and edges. Let's turn that canvas off. Fill it on there. Let's do 0.5 mil radius on these. That one got 1.5. On that as well. Top edge, 0.5. Bottom edge, 0.5. Same that edge there. Okay, so just to remind you, make it easy to remember, that edge, that edge, that edge, that edge, 0.5 radius, and this one are 1.5 radius. Let's have a look how that compares to this image. Now I think it looks alright. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is add this backing plate on. So we're going to create a sketch on the inside surface. You can slice away, so find the backplate. plate, and I'm just going to draw a line that comes out. Outside slightly, so we'll go define that as 1.3. Height wise, it's only just going above the shank, so 1, make sure it's vertical. Corner's got level with that. So another line that comes up. It'll be 1mm high, and then a line that goes from there to that point. And then we can extrude that profile. Come up by 0.2mm as a new body initially. And then I'm going to fillet off that edge there. By 0.2mm. And then it makes sense to just mirror that, then we know all 4 sides would be the same. And then mirror that body again, this time on the inside face. Okay, so there we go, that's the backing plate. And then obviously we need to have the bolt on there, so if we just skip those mirrors back, and we can just draw a bolt there. So create a sketch on the face, slice through, and then we're going to use a polygon. Circumscribed polygon, I'm going to put it that sort of position, give it 6 sides. 9mm, looks like the right size to me. And define from the centre point to that top point 1.05mm, and from the centre point there to that point there 1.75mm, and then extrude that 0.2. I tell it to join. Might actually just take that down a bit, down to 0.15. And then when we skip, because we went back in the history behind these 2 mirrors, when we skip forwards now, that will then put them on all 4 points there. I'm not going to worry too much about these fins on the back of the buffer. They're there for bracing, obviously, but we're doing such a small, tiny buffer that you're not going to see it. They don't print particularly well, because I've tried them before in Engage, you just don't show up. So I'm not going to bother with that. I'll just leave that buffer at this point. I think I'm relatively happy with it. There is, on this picture, there's this little box here, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. But I'll go around and I'll check the other buffers. If we have to come back and add that, we'll add that. But I think we'll leave the buffer at this point. I'm pretty happy with how that looks, and as a whole this wagon's coming on quite nice. So hope you'll be able to follow that along. Thanks for watching.